One thing we believe at Aspire Senior Solutions is that the next generation of senior living shouldn't be designed for people, it should be designed with them. And that's exactly why we're here tonight. This is the future customer of our industry, and we believe we should stop guessing what they want and start listening. Tonight, we're going to do something a little bit different. Instead of interviewing senior living experts, we wanted to sit down with the people that are living this stage of life right now.
You hear a lot about what older adults need, but not nearly as much about what older adults want.
So tonight, we're just going to talk about life right now, about what the future looks like, and what makes the next chapter meaningful.
And in the best way possible, with good food, good friends, and real conversation around the table.
Welcome everybody. This is so exciting, just to hear the conversation about what the future of senior living should look like and what you desire of it. This is kind of what I desire of it, but I'm the chef, right? So it might not be, what you desire. So a few things that we have on the table here. So we have fresh crostinis, we have a little mini breadstick, and we have a biscuit that I was telling Kim about last night. I was so happy with it. So homemade biscuit in a little muffin tin. I made an herb goddess butter out of fresh herbs from my garden. There's fresh fruit, so there's grapes, the raspberries are in season, there's Maui Gold pineapple, that cantaloupe is super sweet, it's delicious. Then there's prosciutto di Parma, a soprassetto, which is a sort of a spicier salami. Then there's salami, there's brie, there's boursin cheese, and then that is the herb goddess butter that we made and whipped it and then rolled it and then got it sliced like that. And then something really cool and unique on there is we have our own oil and vinegar line from Italy. So I partner with Oil and Vinegar, and they make the most incredible oil and vinegars, and this is their date bacon balsamic vinegar. So take a little bit of that, put it on. Yeah, you can buy this on my website at Transform Culinary Solutions. So we've got a bunch of that available too. So there's your first course. So excited, and we're gonna get ready for our next course. So enjoy your conversations.
So for you guys right now, what does a really great day look like?
Cup of coffee.
I go to exercise classes every day, Monday through Friday. So that's my start, 8, for a couple hours.
Yeah.
And then I'll have my coffee at my patio.
Just go to the gym, just try to stay healthier, the stretching, the balancing, some of the strength training, that type of thing. Just to stay healthy, because one of the problems getting older is you lose your strength, you lose your balance, and so it's really all about that for me. But then getting into golf now again, after having about a 12-year layoff there, and then playing pickleball now.
Here's to enjoying life at every age. Great conversation and great food. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Cheers.
What are some of the things that you hope you never stop doing as you get older?
Exercising, okay, trying to eat healthier, but that's hard to do.
Ice cream Wednesdays?
Ice cream Wednesdays. Fried chickens, but trying to get a little bit healthier, because I know if I'm healthier, then I can still play golf.
Yeah.
I can still play pickleball, and it's the exercising that's critical because of the balancing and the strength. Because we've seen a lot of people fall on the pickleball courts, and they got to understand that if they hadn't been athletic before, it takes a little bit of athleticism to play pickleball, and you got to be aware of that. And a lot of people don't. That basically the balance becomes a critical issue, and you lose that balance, you're broken wrist, broken arm, whatever it may be. So I'm hoping to stay healthy to the standpoint of still being able to play golf, pickleball.
It leads to me to the question of why live longer? What's the point of living longer?
Well, if you stay healthy and if you're more active, back in the day, my parents lived long. My mother lived to 99, my dad lived to 87. But from the time they retired, they just sat in a chair. They didn't get out and do things.
My parents too.
Yeah.
I'm going to dance at my great-grandchild's wedding.
Yes, I love that.
I hope I get to the grandchild first, but I mean, it's important to me to see a great grandchild.
Family's one thing, but also what else?
To me, life has to offer. That haven't done.
Do you do it alone?
No, always with Vera or family
Or friends.
or friends.
When we first moved to Frisco Lakes, our first event that we attended was the Halloween party. And we didn't know anybody. We went just the two of us. And I thought, oh, it's going to be lame. We're going to be home, It was the most fun I've ever had. And everybody just had fun.
There were people dressed, a guy and a girl dressed in those leopard and lion leotards that showed hid nothing.
Everything.
Is that the one that we won first prize? Was that the one?
I was shocked and
No,
concerned.
no.
Are we enjoying our conversations, everybody? Yes, good. Okay, so this is our first salad course. So what's really exciting about this is it's from Restorative Farms in Dallas. So it's actually a 1 acre farm that uses all solar power, and they grow all of their products hydroponically. And the lettuces you're about to eat are medicinal grade nutrition. It actually is sold to SMU, the campus. A lot of medical facilities use it because of the amount of nutrition that is in that spinach. So there's 2 varieties here that are really cool. There's a Bloomsdale and a red oak spinach. I mean, raise your hand if you've had a red spinach before. So amazing flavors. And then there is beet greens, microgreens on the top. And then you saw us make that nice strawberry rhubarb vinaigrette dressing. So we drizzled that around. We squeezed just a touch of lemon to give it a little pop of flavor. So enjoy that. Should be a burst of some unique flavors. So thank you so much.
You guys have all downsized from homes that you were in for, I'm sure, a period of time. Was there a component of it that was emotional to let go of that?
Yeah, I was in the fetal position till yesterday. I don't know. No, for a while. I did not want to move.
How did you reconcile that, and how did you then make the decision that this is the right thing to do?
It just it happened so fast, I don't know what happened. Well, our kids were 4 and 5 when we moved in there, and we had neighbors that we raised our kids together. Our grandkids were now playing together.
Yeah.
And some of them are still out there. But yeah, I think probably it was a good move. As pulling the Velcro, away from my house had been, I'm like, the only thing about doing it later when I said, okay, I just can't do any of this, would have been maybe I would have been more like, oh yeah, of course we needed to do this. But it probably was a good thing.
We have a lot of friends that, some of which now would love to make that move, but they've gotten really,
they're pretty enmeshed still.
they can't get themselves out of there. There's a timing thing.
There is.
When I moved my mother, there was a timing thing always involved with that. When we moved, I think we moved young enough to enjoy it.
Yes.
But she's gotten so involved in the neighborhood that she needs to draw back some.
Yeah.
Cards and neighborhood communications, different events. I'm fine with golf and pickleball and.
But what you said about the timing, because that's what I see. I see people move in, and I look at them and I think, no, you waited too long.
Yes.
You need to be going
They're not going to be here long.
Yeah.
We see that in senior living too, that people wait until it's an issue of need and it's
Right.
emergent.
Right.
And why not consider it and think about it when you can design the lifestyle that you want?
How was that salad? Excellent. Right? Just you could feel and taste that nutrition. And I really think that's the future. Like farm to fork, like really like what are we growing here? What's in the food? Like let's really have the right ingredients that give us nutrition and health and wellness for the future. So it's spring, asparagus is in season. So I thought, why not do an asparagus bisque? So we actually started with a mira mirepoix, which is carrot, celery, and onion, sweated down, added the stems of the asparagus because we're actually serving the asparagus on the main entree. So no waste. So the stems of the asparagus have so much flavor and nutrition in it too. And then basically we added a little bit of cream, a little chicken stock, blended it up. Then we made a mascarpone cream that goes around the swirl, and then we made a basil from my garden, and we used the basil oil from Italy as well to really give it that pop of flavor. And there's a little bit of the beet greens and crispy shallots on the top. So you should enjoy that. A pro move could be take a breadstick, dump it into the soup, but enjoy. Thank you so much.
We want to also talk about purpose and like how important is continuing to have a purpose? How has that changed? And what does that look like in the future?
Our purpose right now are the grandkids, but eventually they're going to get old enough where they're not going to want to do it. But that's really sort of our major purpose right now, just to enjoy the grandkids because they're young, 2, 5, and 7. So. And it's watching them come up through the sports.
We have the oldest grandkids, and now our grandkids are 21, 8, like they're old. And now it's like we both said, it's time for us to think about us, not follow the grandkids and do it.
Yeah.
So that's how ours is now.
Yeah.
And you'll get there. Like these kids, they all have young grandkids. Ours are older.
And I'll say we're not totally focused 100% on them because we know we need our time. But I would say they take the majority of the time, maybe 60%. So we're not one of these, well, we're going to see the grandkids again today, again, and again. It's like we'll see them Saturdays or whatever, watch some of their games.
Yeah.
So it's sort of you don't want to dominate that. And I don't think their parents would. It's sort of, okay, well, we're going to show up for this, for their birthdays, that type of thing. But it's still sort of our focus type of thing.
How are you different from your parents and grandparents, do you think?
I didn't know my grandparents on my mom's side. My dad was in the Air Force.
Yeah, we're much younger.
Much younger, but we were traveling all over the place, so I didn't know my grandparents very much. But my parents too, when they had grandkids, they were in no way inclined to move where the grandparents,
Or
the
be
grandkids
involved
were.
to the extent
Or be involved, to the extent if they didn't have any inclination to go to a baseball game or that kind of thing. Yeah. And now we're invited by Elizabeth and Matt, her husband. Yeah.
The kids will say, "Are Maz and Poppy coming?" Like if we're not coming, they don't understand.
Yeah. I'm a little confused by that.
And I think our purpose too is much more faith driven than it
Much
ever
more.
has been before. Like
I was going to say that too. Yeah.
we go to Bible study. We're much more focused on having God in our lives than we ever were
We also, for church, we volunteer in the kids'
in the nursery.
And these are 2-year-olds or so, or less. So that's a good experience too. It teaches
they
you
love
that
Steve.
you're happy.
And we go home.
Your grandkids are-
No, here, go and
yeah. But we love it.
yeah.
But it does show you that.
An hour once a week.
But I think we have to stay happy as a couple. So we have to do the things we want to do as well. We don't want to get to the point where we're 100% grandkids, then we lose ourselves, and then we become unhappy, right? Yeah. So you got to maintain that in order to make your grandkids and everybody else happy around you.
We also travel a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Much as we can. Sometimes somebody says too much.
Do you have a kind of a bucket list? Like here are the places we're going to go, or you just kind of...
A little bit, but it's very informal. Like going to see Australia was one.
Yeah.
We've done that a couple times. But the British Isles, we haven't done that. Maybe Northern Europe,
Yeah.
that kind of thing.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm curious to hear from Dennis.
Yes,
Because you still work. Is that a big part of your identity and your purpose?
Well, we moved down here 8 years ago,
Yeah, 2018.
and we were from back up north, and we have 2 older granddaughters, and it was at that point where they had their own friends. They didn't want us to do it, so we came down here. Our 2 grandkids were young, and they just wanted to spend every minute with us, every weekend, and we loved it. And now they're at the age where You know, one's in college, the other one's a junior in high school. You know, they have their own friends. But I do want to see them as much as we can, because we miss them. And they enjoy being with us. You know, they'll call her and they'll say, "Grandma, what are you doing?" And
Can we go shop?
She said, she'll say nothing, but can we go shopping? You know, and they're out there, they go shopping, you know. Yeah. And that's one of the reasons why we did come down here. You know, we found this community we're living in. But, you know, we found a lot of good friends, and we have a lot of activities, you know, and our daughter says, you know, you have a better life than we do right now, you know.
And so that's why we're trying to talk him in to retire. Not working.
I would like to say congratulations to the chef on the soup, because A, I don't eat asparagus and I don't eat shallots. I never liked them, and this was the first time as a combination, it was so good.
Wow,
I actually ate it all. My wife's sitting there going, I don't believe this. He's actually eating it.
I absolutely love that. Like when somebody is like, well, I've never really had it, and for you to experiment and have it and now really enjoy it so that you can now add that to your...
Yeah, but where can I find that soup?
I love surf and turf personally, because it's like, what do we want to eat? Steak, usually all the gentlemen want that. Women like the salmon or the chicken. So I just thought, let's give them the best. So we got a filet mignon that we marinated with fresh herbs. We did a pan sear on it. It's about medium because I wanted to make sure it was good kind of for everybody. It should be nice and tender. The salmon is king salmon. It was butter poached. So we pan seared it. We made this, that butter with the Amish butter and just kind of poached it at the end and drained off the butter. Then we made a lemon beurre blanc sauce out in the back that was just amazing. So that's kind of sitting on the bed. Then we took those butter roasted potatoes, there's red and Yukon, and pan seared them with a little bit of garlic, a little salt and pepper, fresh herbs. We took the tips of the asparagus that I talked about, and those are blanched and sauteed with a little bit of butter and lemon, as well as the baby carrots. There's tri-colored carrots. And then this is actually amaranth, which is an herb green that is so packed with nutrition, and it has so much flavor that I think it just adds to the dish. So enjoy those entrees in your conversations.
Well, you guys have been talking a lot about the friendships you all have made since you moved to the community, as well as it was a little bit hard too to make some friends. And so what's most important when it comes to the connections that you have in your life right now?
Well, we have different groups of friends. We have our neighborhood friends, we have the people we met at the pool friends, and our pickleball friends. And I don't know, I guess it's just having a common thread.
With these guys, it's fun, and it's always enjoyable.
Right, we laugh.
Whether we go to a bar and sit out and just...
There's never a judgment.
No.
No one judges it.
Yeah.
Well, you don't think so, but...
That's why I'm never invited.
All right, well, this is the last course. Are we pretty stuffed? Yeah, we're pretty stuffed. That's great. So this has been such a great experience. We've got the classic whipped version of a New York cheesecake, a berry compote. So there's blackberries, raspberries, strawberries, a little bit of hint of vanilla and orange zest in that. Then we have a whipped mascarpone on the top with a little bit of mint, and then chocolate curls that I just took from a raspberry chocolate bar and grated that. So it gives it more burst of berry flavor. Hope you guys enjoy. Thank you so much. Enjoy. You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. In fact, round of applause for my son and his girlfriend, Charlize. And this is Chef Tommy. He is the sous chef. Round of applause. He's the backbone of Trey Wilcox Cooking Kitchen here. They've been together for 30 plus years. So we're blessed to have him help us today. We were short staffed and he executed at a very high level. I mean, you guys, you tasted that, right? It was incredibly flavored. He was like, I have a vision for the dessert, and I let him execute, and I think it's phenomenal. So just give him a round of applause, and thank you for everything. So good. Thank you. Appreciate you, Chef.
One of the things Tim does really, really well, I always talk about it, with whatever social setting we're in, is he has this just really uncanny ability to meet people where they are and create this environment where people support each other. And I do think it's an environment like that that is the only way you counteract the turnover that our industry sees, is that type of leadership, that kind of compassionate leadership, because people know they belong there. It's not about fitting in, it's about belonging, and it's about creating this experience in this environment for everyone that they're working with and everyone that lives there.
I think the only way you get good care in a senior living environment or good service, hospitality, and independent living is through supporting the staff. It's not about demanding excellence, and it's not about saying we have you're going to be treated the best. Leadership has to support the team members, and I think that's different from how I grew up. You know, I kind of identified by hard work, self-worth, and hard work kind of went hand in hand. Loyalty. You know, I taught for 30 years. Those are important values. I'm not saying that, but people like to complain about the new generation, but mostly they're just saying, what are you going to do for me? And I don't think that's a bad question. What am I going to do for them? If I'm expecting them, it's hard work working in a senior living community. If you're a housekeeper, if you're a caregiver, if you're a med tech, if you're a concierge, it's hard work. And so what are we doing to give them a good quality of life that they can then be proud of what they're doing and support you? And that's what I think is the thing.
Well, this has been great. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
We've really enjoyed the conversation.
No, this was fantastic for us.